Tim, how do you think owners are going to react to this sort of level of sort of agency these players are taking? Because it was interesting to have the Board of Governors meeting be so close on the heels of free agency, and the discussions we heard that came out of that about, oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
And we'll see what happens with future CBA discussions. But right now, I think owners who have the ability to create relationships with players have a significant advantage. You know, I look at a guy like Steve Ballmer, for example. I think he's a guy who, you know, he's not necessarily trying to hang out with the players and be their friends, but he's a guy who I think players kind of enjoy being around. See, he's a guy that they want to work for, you know, want to, in a way, work with. And like I said, I think the ability, the owners who have that ability to create a rapport with players have an advantage in today's NBA.
Rich, I don't know what the fix is, because as long as the monster TV checks come to all these owners all over the place, what are they really going to do? They're going to say, Adam, I want a star on my team, and Adam Silver's going to say, you see that check that just came in? And then they're going to be, oh, okay, you're right, it's going to be all right. So we can discuss guys not wanting to pair up together and pair up in the bigger markets. The idea of balance is good. The reality of it, I don't think, is attainable in this moment in time, though.
Well, one place where players do have a lot more power than, say, in Bill Russell's time or Oscar Robertson's time is they have financial freedom. A lot more so than they had in the past. Outside endorsements and just the greater salaries overall. You talk about all those billions of dollars. The players, by the way, still not getting most of it, right? 50%. But they do get a big chunk of it and therefore have a lot more financial freedom than, say, a Bill Russell did or anyone like that. And because of that, I just think the owners have to think differently about how they want to have stars be distributed around the league. Because regardless of whether you think more parity is good for the game or more of a star system is good for the game, however you want it to shake out, you can't bribe players anymore. And that has been the base of all of these CBAs, whether it was, oh, we're going to bribe them with 8-year contracts, right? That'll keep them. They'll never seen this much money before. Right. Oh, we're going to bribe them with a supermax. I've seen all this stuff. How can we tinker with a supermax to make it really work to keep players? That starts with the baseline assumption that players don't have enough of their own agency, that they can just be bribed to stay places. And I don't think that model, if maybe it did work when players didn't get as much of a percentage of revenue, it's not going to work now. Look at how much money Kawhi Leonard left on the table, right? First in San Antonio, then in Toronto. It just hasn't worked. And I think that you don't want true parity in the NBA, but even if you do say, hey, we want more of a redistribution, I don't like these guys demanding trades or asking to form their super teams, you have to stop trying to do it with money.
Absolutely. It's like Liam Neeson and Taken. Good luck. Truly, I'm listening through and I'm going, have fun with that. Because guys, even more so than not needing the money, Rach, they want to play with each other. They'll do whatever it takes so that they're not on an island by themselves playing with a group of guys that doesn't have close to their talent level. They want to compete for titles. They know that that's where the legacy is, and they want to enjoy playing with each other in the moment. So good luck to the league in trying to find a way to find balance. I think in this era, more so than we've seen ever, really, this is a time when guys have the control. They know they have the control. They have the money to back their decisions, and they feel more empowered than ever.
You know what, though? I think going into the season, the league is as balanced as it's been in a long time. I mean, there's a longer list of legitimate contenders this summer than certainly over the last 5 years, when it always, you know, obviously the Raptors ended up winning, but it felt at this point last year that it was just destiny that the Warriors would defend their championship. And, you know, we're talking about small market teams at disadvantages. Utah's a legitimate contender. They've built that through draft, through trade, getting a big-time free agent for them in Bogdanovich. Milwaukee, obviously.
I just want to point out the screen, because this illustrates your point so much, Tim. Mark Cuban said today, or this was in the Dallas Morning News, in terms of movement, it's great for the NBA. Now, instead of one super team, everyone's trying to beat, and then LeBron's an attraction. I don't know how he's going to take that description, but anyway. Now we've got a bunch of super teams, and even those super teams only have 2 superstars. None of them have the 3 that I've been able to count. It takes a little bit of luck, and it takes building a team. So go on.
Yeah, and look, if Kawhi had gone to the Lakers, that would not have been good for the league, because it would have been like, well, everybody's playing for second place. Him going to the Clippers, now you've got this great inter-city rivalry. And again, to me, I'm looking at the league right now, there's 7 legit contenders. that I see. Add Brooklyn to that list once KD gets back. Next season, not this coming up season, but the season after that. I feel like the league is in a great place, and you've got contenders in major markets, and then you've got some small market teams that are in that mix.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For highlights and analysis, check out the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, check out ESPN+.